Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. How are you today? How is everything? Well, welcome back to my class. This is meeting 3 in our class of standardized test of structure. And for today's meeting, we are going to talk about verbs and subject predicate agreement. Okay, by the way, any one of you has any idea what is verbs and subject predicate agreement? That's right. When we are talking about verb and subject predicate agreement, of course, for example, when we are having this kind of subject, how do I say it? Uh, Plural subject means should be use the plural verb, right? So it must be, what is that? Same pattern. When there is a plural subject, should be plural verbs. And plural verb usually without any s and etc. That's what we call the verbs and subject predicate agreement. Okay, now let's talk about it any further. Okay, by the way, when we are talking about verb and subject predicate agreement, this is the adjustment of the number between the verbs and the subject of the sentence, which are singular or plural. So basically, the most important thing that we need to understand is whether the subject is singular or plural. When the subject can be, the subject can be a noun, pronoun, or any other structure that act as a noun, such as gerund or infinitive. So basically, noun itself can be various, right? Can be a gerund, infinitive, or noun as a general. Mr. Harry, and Miss Shahara. That will be singular. Plural, right? When it's only Mr. Harry, it will be singular. Okay. And then basically the single subject use single verb and multiple subject use multiple verbs. Okay, now let's take a look at the example here. Okay, my dog is still growing up in the postman. Can you see this one? This is the example of the subject predicate agreement. Okay, let me show you this one. My dog here is the singular, right? The dog is only one, so that's why the singular verb here is using is, right? To be is, not are, not were, because it's the subject is singular, right? And then let's see the question number 2. Singular verb, singular subject, also singular verb. It's almost the same. I is singular, and do not know here is the singular verb also, okay? Now let's take a look at, compare it with the example number 3, right? This clothes here, can you see that? This clothes mean the clothes is not only one, but there are many, so it's plural subject. When these are plural subject, of course, we have to use the plural verb, so that's why we use are, not is. This clothes is incorrect, right? So we have to be careful with that. And also one more example. Peter doesn't like vegetables, like, because this Peter is only one, so it should be used does not, right? Because this singular subject and singular verb. Does not like here is singular verb, okay? Then there are some rules that we need to follow in order to make sure that there will be no problem with the subject and predicate agreement. Like this one, number 1. If the subject is singular, the verb must be singular too. For example, she writes every day. Exception here, when using the singular they, of course, it's going to use plural. It's not they writes, but they write, okay, without s. And then, for example, the participant express satisfaction with their job. They are, not they is, not they does, yeah, because it's the subject here, they is, what is that? Plural, so that's why it's going to be plural verb too, okay? And then, if the subject is plural, the verb must be also plural, like what I told you before. They here is a plural subject, right? This is plural subject. So it means that the verb must be plural also. They write, not they writes. Okay, sometimes. However, it seems a bit more complicated than this. So basically, this is the most basic example that I show you here. And then when the subject of the sentence is composed of two or more nouns or pronouns connected by and, we need to use a plural verb. For example, the doctoral student and the committee members write every day. Okay, can you see here that this one, there are two, or maybe I can say more than one subject here, the doctoral student and the committee members, right? So that's why we need to use write without s here as the plural verb. Okay, another example is the percentage of employees who called in sick and the number of employees who left their jobs within 2 years are reflective of the level of the job. Okay, here the percentage of the employee who called in sick is the first subject here, and then the number of employee who left their job within 2 years, another subject. So that's why it means that there are more than one subject here or two subjects. So that's why it's going to be plural verb here. So this is the thing that we have to make sure that we do not skip this part. Okay, and then when a phrase comes between the subject and the verb, remember that the verb still agrees with the subject, not the noun or pronouns. Okay, let's take a look at this. The students as well as the committee members is excited. Why it is using is here? Because the subject is not the committee member, but the subject is the student here. This is the subject, so that's why it should be this one. Okay, this is the subject and this is the verb. Okay, and as well as the committee member is just like explanation about the subject itself, not the real subject in this case. Another one, the students with all the master's degree is very motivated. Of course, it's clear. This is the noun. Then when I say this one like noun head, yeah, the most important part of the subject here, and this is also the verb. So that's why here, okay, has an agreement with this one, student, and is here. Another example maybe, strategies that teachers use to encourage classroom participation include using small group and clarifying expectation. Can see that strategies. Strategy here is plural, so that's why the verb is plural too, include without s. And then once more, the focus of the interview was 9 purposefully selected participants. Okay, so that was actually the basic, the basic explanation, the basic point when we are going to discuss about subject and verb agreement. As long as we understand single subject and singular subject and plural subject, we have to make sure that they have same with them, singular subject and plural singular verb, plural subject with the plural verb. Okay, do you understand, guys? I hope you understand. And after this, you are going to have more activity in the assignment parts. Okay, well, see you, and please do the activity that I provided. Thank you, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.